Hello, good morning, and welcome to Bill Riccardi's Weekly Patreon Update. I, of course, am Bill Riccardi, a creator and purveyor of fantasy novels. What's happening this week? The end of the beta happens this week. So we talk a little bit about what happens over the course of the next 2 or 3 days with A Falconer's Guide to Dying. We will also talk about, a little bit mysteriously, about a side project that I have that I can't publicly admit the name to, but just understand that there are some things in the works, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And finally, we're going to talk about vacation coming up and what I need to accomplish before then. So let's start at the start. A Falconer's Guide to Dying. Today is the last day of the open beta. So folks have been getting in feedback. Haven't gotten a lot of major changes from the closed beta. The closed beta folks did a bang-up job. So I'm going to make the assumption that, most of the artistic changes and what have you were good and went in the right direction. So big thanks to the closed beta readers for that. Big thanks to the open beta readers for catching a lot of the little mistakes here and there. We will be doing a merge or a comparison between the doc that went in and the doc that came out of beta, and we're just going to make sure that all the changes were sane. And after that, I'm going to spend this weekend getting it into all the right formats, and then the delivery. Now, of course, early delivery happens as soon as I get the right formats to my patrons. We will send that out ASAP. Physical book copies, that's going to take a little while longer. Not sure if we're in a pre-Christmas mood for that. It's not too likely. It just depends on how quickly Amazon works. Sometimes they can have everything ready in days. Sometimes they can have it ready in months. So it's going to depend a lot on them. If I can get it out by Christmas, that's great. But we'll see what happens. The next project officially on the books is, of course, Book 3 of the Ehi Saga, wrapping up the initial 3 books where we talk about Isidore and we talk about Lucas as the kind of primary characters alone in the spotlight. After that, the series will continue, but they are going to be sharing the spotlight with certain other people and entities and what have you. They won't be the only kind of main characters, as it were. So, with that in mind, is there anything else that Bill is doing? Yes, there are a couple of other projects that I'm doing. I just can't talk about them. One of the great things about having anonymity is that you can do whatever you like as far as genre is concerned. And you won't be harassed about some of the more adventurous projects, let's say, that you do. Just know that anything that I write under those pen names, I'm going to try to find a way to subtly make them available to my patrons without kind of spilling the beans, as it were. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what kind of anonymity I can maintain while offering kind of these side projects to my patrons. But either way, do understand that all the main project, everything that I promised, the 3 novels a year, etc., all of that is still going to end up in your inbox. So do not fret. I'm looking at January, February, March. I'm looking at a possible March timeframe to finish the 3rd Ehi Saga book, and then an April publication date, which I think is pretty normal for my release schedule. That is really about it. What's going to happen afterwards, after we get everything done, we get the cover done for Falconer's Guide, we get the electronic copies of the various stores, and then we get the physical copies, starting that process. After all of that happens, I take a vacation. That's generally what happens in the second week of December or so. So I'm going to be working hard for the next couple of weeks, making sure that the release goes well, and that Christmas advertising goes out, and et cetera, and that everyone from Patreon, of course, gets what they have signed up for. And then I'm usually incommunicado for a couple of weeks. I'll try to still do Patreon updates if I remember, but I try to take the last 2 weeks of December off, so I can have a nice holiday and refresh and re-energize for the new year. So just to get that in your head, that there's probably only 2 or 3 more regularly scheduled Patreon updates this year. And then after that, I may be on vacation for 2 weeks. I don't go anywhere. I just, kind of shut my brain off, which is a nice change. So, that's about it. If you have any questions, drop me a line, of course. And it is freezing cold out here in Belfast. 1 degree last time I looked. So, everyone out there, bundle up. If you're in a warm place, I envy you. One of my friends is off in Hawaii right now, and he's having a first anniversary / honeymoon, which is great. Everyone concentrate on that level of warmth, and we'll all be okay. Until next time, have a good one, and we'll see you soon.